Let's shift gears to social equity. We know that the Regulation and Taxation of Marijuana Act calls for a program in order to assist or identify and assist areas and individuals that have been disproportionately impacted by cannabis prohibition. We see that the rules have addressed that, I think, summarily a little bit, and I would imagine that the agency, in fact, it references the fact that the agency is planning on introducing a more comprehensive plan. Could you talk about when that may happen and what it may look like?
Sure. We intend to issue that plan sometime in the month of July, and I think doing it in such a way that we provide that sort of summary framework, as you referenced in the rules, but publishing the plan separately gives us some flexibility. So it's not carved in stone, and year to year we may have that vary as well, depending on what we see being effective, what we see as being additional needs to help partner with the communities that we identify. So when that plan is published, you're going to see which communities have met the criteria for being qualifying communities, and individuals who come from those communities, what they need to do to be individually eligible, and what types of services we can offer. And we're one piece of that broader puzzle, I think, when it comes to helping effectuate that social equity component of the ballot initiative. But we want to make sure that there's clarity there, but we provide ourselves flexibility to appropriately address it. Anytime, rules are more flexible than statute in terms of how they can be amended at times, but we want anytime we have a new issue that we're dealing with, and the social equity doesn't exist on the medical side, giving ourselves the flexibility so we can learn as the program's implemented and we can see whether it's successful or not, I think is going to be critical. I think other states, as they've implemented similar social equity plans, have particularly focused on how to give licenses to those individuals from the communities, but we're going to measure our success against sustained licensure, access to employment within the industry, and giving ourselves flexibility in the plan allows us to address those things if we don't find that we're achieving the results that we expected.
I didn't consider the fact that by perhaps having a plan that's separate from the rules, it gives the agency a lot more flexibility with respect to changing it, amending it, perhaps. It's not, I don't know if is it going to be part of the rules or it's just going to be separate from the rules, which perhaps, because we know that the rules are emergency rules. You have 6 months to create permanent rules. Right. These were done in order to address an emergency scenario, but having a separate plan, I suppose, acts outside of that. Is that right?
It does, and it references back to the rules themselves. And if we determine ultimately that the plan that's in place is effective and meets the conditions that we hoped it would and is affecting the communities in the way that we hope that it would, then we can certainly just put all that in the rules and leave it there. But for the short term, being that this is a new concept to the state, and that we'll just be beginning to work not only with the communities themselves, but those individuals, and also partnering with any other outside organizations or groups, that we may learn things along the way, and we want to be open to putting more into that plan as we go.